Hi, planner community, Pash fam. This is Christine again with Christine Passion Plans. And I am here today to talk with you a little bit about how to plan and work on your mental health using your passion planner, or honestly, you can use any planner where you can take these ideas and use any kind of planner to help you improve your mental health. So stay tuned for that.
Hello, it's Christine from Christine Passion Plans. I just wanted to show my face for just a second and say hello to you all and say thank you so much for visiting my channel once again and checking out the content that I have to offer here. This specific video is going to be the first of a series called Mental Health Passion Planning. Basically, how can you use your paper planner to improve or to help your mental health? So this is the first video of that series. However, before we really start this series and get into this first video, I want to throw some information out there to make sure that you understand where my perspective is and where I'm coming from, and kind of a disclaimer. So I am a mental health therapist myself, and it's really, really important that you know that these videos are out there for very general information just to help support what you're already doing in managing your own mental health. I can't emphasize enough the importance of finding your own mental health therapist to support you in your mental health journey. That is the for surefire way to make sure that your needs are getting met specifically and your own mental health needs. So this is especially true if you are dealing with any kind of PTSD or any kind of trauma. That can definitely complicate things and make things not quite as easy to manage, especially when we're talking about depression and anxiety. So it might mean that you need to talk to your therapist before trying these ideas that I have put in this video, as far as trying to be intentional and being proactive about managing your symptoms. So I just wanted to put that out there to make sure you know my perspective and where I'm coming from. Again, if you have any questions about anything in this video or anything regarding like paper planning and mental health, you're welcome to put all that in the comments and I'll respond the best that I can below. I hope this information and I hope this video is helpful to you in some way. And yeah, I'm just really glad.
Okay, we're back. Here we go. So when we're talking about mental health, usually when people say they want to improve their mental health, they're usually talking about they are dealing with depression. Most often it's something that has to do with anxiety. And honestly, I'm going to say this is a disclaimer up front that it is really, really important that you get a therapist to support you in this journey. It's really helpful to do that. And for some people, they need a psychiatrist to help with medications to support you in that journey. What this video is about is to help you find some ways that you can kind of coach yourself with the support of a therapist and helping you reach some goals for yourself of improving your anxiety or improving symptoms of depression, or really this can be applied to any kind of mental health issue. But again, please make sure you are working with your therapist and what is best for you. So, okay, given that information, let's get started. So I am focusing on using the Passion Planner. So in the Passion Planner, I only printed out some of the from the online PDFs because I don't have my actual Passion Planner with me, but this is the roadmap that is at the beginning of every Passion Planner. And I actually would like to do a video about how important the roadmap is. This roadmap actually makes the Passion Planner the Passion Planner. This roadmap really makes planning different in the Passion Planner than any other planner. Now, you can take the concepts from this and put in another planner, of course, but the Passion Planner is already designed where it's set up for you and guides you through the process of setting the goal that you want to set and kind of lead you through it month by month, week by week, day by day. So let's take a look at the roadmap and talk about how this is the place to start when we are talking about how do I improve my mental health using my planner. So if you look at the roadmap, it shows you instructions exactly on how to do it. So at the top, it gives you instructions. Now, the one thing that I tend not to do is to set the timer for 5 minutes. I think that is to help you to get focused to do that. That can be very stressful to some people, I've noticed. So if you don't want to set your timer, don't. Just take the time to take a look at it and imagine whatever you write on this piece of paper will come true within the designated time frame. Now, this roadmap is designed for you to dream big at any part of your life. What I am suggesting that you do with this roadmap is to hone your focus in on mental health. Okay. So instead of like big dreams in every part of your life, hone in on that mental health part of your life and write down how you would like your mental health to look different. Would you like to be anxiety free? Would you like to live with peace? Would you like to have more energy? Would you like to think more positively in your life? Would you like not to feel a certain way on most days? All of those things. So I would make a list of the things that you wish were different about your mental health. Okay. And it doesn't have to take 5 minutes. It can take longer than 5 minutes if it needs to, but I would definitely do this step, because if you don't take the time on this step, it's going to be a whole lot harder to, make or set a goal that you want to work towards, and it's going to be harder to make this manageable for yourself. Okay, so if I could be anything, do anything, have anything, what would it be? So again, we are honing in on mental health. We are focusing on mental health. So think about that question. How would you like your life to look? How would you like to feel? How would you like to function compared to how you function now as far as your mental health goes? Okay. So this brainstorming process that happens in the beginning is really key, because it helps you figure out what is it that I'm trying to do here. And it will help you make sense of the goals you're going to set for yourself. And it's going to help you feel more motivated and more passionate about the process in terms of like trying to reach those goals. So then you take a look at the map. Think about that and think about in 3 months. What would be a realistic place that you wish you could be in 3 months? Y'all, I'm going to go back to the therapist conversation again. I would take this and I would talk about it with your therapist. So let's say anxiety, depression. Let's take depression, for example. Let's say I want to have more energy in 3 months than I do now. I want to feel more motivated to do the things that I want to do, and I want to have more interest in the things that I want to do. So you write that down, okay? And you put the 3-month mark. And then what would that look like in 1 year? What do you hope that looks like in 3 years? And what do you hope that looks like for a lifetime? Because the idea of the Passion Planner is once you set a goal, once you work towards that goal, once you reach that goal, that is something that is going to change your life for the long term. In the middle here, you're just stating, what is this thing that's going to change my life and how am I going to get there? Okay, so then down here it talks about the prioritizing, which parts of this is going to have the most impact on your life. However, again, when I'm talking about mental health, I have done this with clients before, and I just tell them, take that one part that you really want to focus on, and let's break it down and see what that looks like over a time frame. So increasing your energy levels and your motivation to do the things that you want to do is a big one for people that suffer from depression. So imagine what that would look like for yourself and fill this out. And then the next page, you are focusing on one thing you can do to make that happen. So here it says my game changer. So let's think about, okay, I want to increase my energy level. I want my depression not to take over my daily life so much that I don't have any motivation, I can't function. So increase energy level. Okay, so we're going to make that the game changer. What's one thing you can do to work towards that? Well, a really good one, I think, for any mental health issue is to make sure you're seeing a therapist on a regular basis. And I'm a mental health therapist myself, so I'm a little biased towards that. But in all honesty, when we're talking about serious mental health issues, it really is important to have that support on the side because they know your individual needs better than I do in a video. So make sure you have that person walking side by side with you to help you with this goal. So I would say So let me put that in here. So I'm going to say increase energy. I don't have the best handwriting like some of you amazing people do. And it says a due date. Let's not focus on the due date at the moment. Let's just focus on what it is we're focusing on. And then here you go out and let's say see therapist regularly. All right. Now, what's something else you can do? Maybe it's important to come up with a self-care plan. So come here, self-care plan. Now, some of these that branch off can sometimes branch off themselves. Like self-care plan could be its own map. And you could branch off from self-care plan, which might be a place to start with any mental health issue and talk about what your self-care plan is going to be. Increased energy could also be, well, how are we taking care of our physical health? Because it all plays together. Make sure we are getting healthy sleep. And that's something you can talk to both your therapist and maybe your doctor about. Healthy sleep. Sorry, spelling that wrong. Okay. What else do we need for energy level? Making sure we're eating healthy. I know that doesn't seem like it's a mental health thing, but actually it really does connect to how we feel. So we're going to say eating healthy. Okay. And maybe how are our thoughts impacting how we feel throughout the day? A lot of us, all of us as humans, sometimes have this thing called automatic negative thoughts, and they get kind of stuck sort of in a loop in our brains, and that negative thinking will bring us down, and that tends to come with depression. So if we can be self-aware of that and figure out how do I challenge that and change those negative thoughts into more positive thoughts and start feeding my mind more positive affirmations, will that change how I feel about myself? So maybe change negative thoughts to positive. And along with that, maybe it's important to practice daily affirmations. You can get an app that gives you daily affirmations on a daily basis, or you can work with your therapist on what daily affirmations would be really important for you to work on based on whatever your thought patterns are. Okay. And let's see, I'm trying to think what else can increase energy. Drink more water. Again, those physical self-care tasks definitely influence our mental health. Journaling can help us manage all of the thoughts that get stuck in our mind. So what we're doing with journaling is we get all the thoughts down on a piece of paper and we're emptying our minds and our hearts there and leaving it there. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it reinforces what we're thinking and gets us stuck in a loop. We don't want that. If that's a problem for you, again, talk to your therapist about that, and maybe you'll have some other coping skills that might work for you better. And as I'm talking about coping skills, maybe part of it is find healthy coping skills. And that is personal to everybody. And that's where therapy can be really helpful to figure out what works for you and helps you figure out what it is that you need to help your energy levels increase and the way you think about yourself become more positive. Okay. Let's see. So there's a lot of stuff here. I imagine if you work with your therapist on this, you could come up with more things. Okay. Again, you could do this for reducing anxiety, or you could do this for, let's say, my anxiety is centered around something specific, like I'm too scared to leave my house. And that's a real fear for a lot of people. So I'm too scared to leave my house. So leave my house once a week might be a more reasonable goal to try to reach, and figure out how to do that by taking steps and naming those steps that branch out from that. So do you see how you start with the Passion Planner process, where you use the Passion Planner roadmap, and then identify what part of your mental health you want to work on for this time period, and then name it, break it down into reasonable steps that you feel like are realistic for you. And again, you need to do this with your therapist, because your therapist can help you, can walk with you side by side as you're working through this process, and help you with your individual needs, because we're all different in how we process things, and we're all different in how we heal, honestly. So having someone, a professional, walk with you through this is really helpful. For some of you, and this isn't true for everyone, but for some of you, for example, might need to make sure your medication is being taken on a daily basis. That's something that some people need to manage mental health. So you would work with your doctor or psychiatrist on that. So think about what it is that you're really working on and improving your mental health. People say to me all the time, I want my mental health to be healthier. I want to be better. Well, let's break that down. What does that look like to you? What do you want to see to be different in your life? How do you want to feel? How do you feel now? For a comparison, and let's work towards how it is you want to feel and what needs to change in your life to make that happen. And that does not mean you're doing anything wrong or doing anything to cause any of this. It just means that your heart and your mind need a different strategy than what you're able to do now to reach the goal that you're hoping to reach. So I hope this part makes sense. If you have any questions about this part of the process, feel free to ask me questions in the comments, and I'll be glad to help you out there. So the next step, so here is what the monthly layout looks like. So then what you do is you take a look at this and you decide, okay, how is this going to look for this next month? How am I going to work this in here? So you think about what's realistic for you. I have a lot of different steps in this game changer goal. So it might be overwhelming. I might have put too many steps. So maybe my therapist and I have decided the only thing I can focus on right now is changing negative thoughts to positive thoughts and working on daily affirmations. Let's say that's about where it's at, and I'll work on the other stuff later. Cool, let's do that. So one thing you could do for your daily affirmations on your monthly is find a daily affirmation per day and fill it in on your monthly calendar. Or you can use the same daily affirmation for a week and write it in here. The simple act of writing it down kind of trains your mind to think differently. So that is one thing that you could do. I don't know. You can make notes for each week on the things that you know tend to trigger negative automatic thoughts, and become more self-aware of it, get ahead of it, and make notes on your month that you want to change that, okay? So for example, like if I know that there's, say, some kind of work staff meeting coming up this week that I know tends to cause me stress or tends to cause a lot of negative automatic thoughts, I'll take a look at that on my calendar and say, okay, how am I going to get ahead of that so I don't let that control me, or so I don't let that control my thinking about myself, okay? So I might make a note on here to say, okay, what are the positive thoughts I'm going to be proactive about to go into that meeting with, to help me think more positive about myself and not let the negativity from what I feel in the meeting get to me, for example, or change how I think about myself. That's just one small example. But the purpose of the monthly is to give you just a monthly snapshot about how you can look at reaching this goal. Okay? It even says here in the Passion Planner Monthly, break it down. Create a mind map of what you're going to do this month. So what you would do is, from your big mind map, you would take, let's say, change negative thoughts to positive thoughts. So I would put that in the middle. Change negative thinking to positive. Put that in the middle. And how am I going to focus on that this month? Daily affirmations. Maybe I'm going to do some meditation. Meditation can help us become extremely self-aware of our feelings and what's causing us to feel negative or think negative about ourselves. Replace negative self-talk with positive self-talk. So these are just examples of really, really breaking that one goal down, okay? And how to reach this specific goal. You're trying to increase your energy level, but we're focusing on this one thing that we feel is most realistic for this month, okay? So here we go. We know for the month of July, this is our focus, right? So we're going to put this aside. Now, what does this look like on a weekly and daily basis? This is where it really happens. Okay. Now, there's two different ways to do this. You can do this as the Passion Planner being your only planner, and you putting your schedule in your planner and your life in your planner and working your mental health goals around all that information. Or if you have enough information to make one planner focused on mental health, you can do that too. So I'm going to kind of talk about how to do both. Okay. So, but this particular roadmap I'm focusing on as if this planner is focused on just a mental health planner by itself, but you could do this in any planner. So let's take a look at your weekly layout in the Passion Planner. Again, this is from a week in July, but that's okay. All the weeks look the same. So here we go. We have your week. You know that your goal this week or this month is to work on change negative thinking to positive thoughts. Okay. Daily affirmations. Well, I've got I've got three different steps that I want to take to work on this. So maybe, and looking at this week, so again, this is your planner for everything. You have all your daily schedule in here. You have your life stuff in here. You could make it part of your week's focus is to, let's just make it simple. Think positive. Yay, think positive. So for this week, we are going to work on replace negative self-talk with positive self-talk. We're going to focus on that just for this week. All right. So what is today's focus? Today's focus, so you break it down day by day. And it might depend in this situation what happens on a daily basis on what it's going to look like day by day. But maybe today's focus is to be self-aware. Be self-aware of when your thoughts are becoming negative and causing you to feel sad, causing you to feel bad about yourself. I mean, part of healing our mental health is self-awareness. It's a huge part. If we can become self-aware of what's happening, we are going to heal a little more quickly. If we're not aware of what's going on, it's going to be a lot harder to make changes in our lives. It's going to be healing. So be self-aware of our thoughts. Maybe I'll just add that here. Thoughts. Be self-aware of thoughts. Okay? And then at the end of Monday, I might come down here to the space of infinite possibility. And now this is if the planner is used for daily schedule, like if this is your one planner. I would come down here and I might say, okay, so on 7/26, what was the negative thought that came to mind? And if you're actually going to do this, if you're going to challenge your negative automatic thoughts, it's important to know what that automatic thought is so that you can change it. So let's say I feel ugly compared to her. I mean, a lot of women, let's be real, we compare ourselves. It's not healthy. Comparison is the thief of joy, but we all have those thoughts, unfortunately. So this is a negative automatic thought. I feel ugly compared to her. How can we change that to a positive thought, okay, that would replace that thought? So what you want to do is the change. Just make a note of it. You can write it down however you want. You could do columns, like the negative automatic thought versus the new positive thought that you want to replace with it. Or you could do what I'm doing here. So I feel ugly compared to her. Or let's see, there's many different positive thoughts that we could use to replace that. I am beautiful and unique. Another one, I can't spell, sorry. I'm beautiful and unique. Or another one, I am enough. That is my favorite self-affirmation. I am enough. So taking a positive self-affirmation and replacing the negative automatic thought is your goal for that day. And you'll make notes here on how you're doing that, okay? So let's say, I don't know, you could go to Tuesday and make your focus be self-aware, or maybe your focus is, what is my daily affirmation today? And meditate on that daily affirmation all day long. So let's say 7/27, daily affirmation. I did my best work today. Something like that. Something that is a positive thought to reinforce positive thinking about yourself. Okay? So it all depends on what you're focusing on and what you need to change. And again, the support of a therapist is really, really helpful in this process. So the other way to go about this is what I'm having you do right now is to identify the focus of each day throughout the week. And sometimes the focus is the same every day if this is a skill that you're trying to learn and hone in and really make a part of your daily life. It might be daily your self-focus is become more self-aware and at positive thinking. And that's okay. That could be your daily focus every day. So the other way to do this, if this is your planner for mental health, wellness only, what you could do is use this space as journaling and write down all the negative automatic thoughts that came to your mind that day, and then write down here the positive thoughts you want to replace those with. Okay, so you sort of use this as an intentional journaling space to work on changing those thoughts. Okay, that's why I really like using planners for a very specific goal, because it really helps me focus more on that goal than to have everything in the same planner. But I know not everybody thinks the same way. Some people need that one planner to keep all the information in so that you don't lose it or you don't forget it. There's only one place for you to look. I totally get all that. And if it's easy to lose things, I totally get it. So, whatever works for you is cool. The other thing you could do, if you're not using these to-do lists down here, you could use washi tape or stickers or something to cover up the to-do list. And you can make these two columns that are already here for you. Negative self-talk, positive self-talk. You've already got two columns here to work with that. And then you could do it in a much more beautiful way than I'm doing it. And I'll be real with y'all. I love decorative planning, but I am a more functional planner, especially when I'm trying to reach goals. Because if I over-focus on the decorative part, it just doesn't always, the goals don't always come along, but my planner's pretty, right? So, I don't know. When I'm working towards a goal, my handwriting's a lot more messy. I don't really have great handwriting. I'm not in the planning world to have beautiful lettering handwriting. I mean, I think that would be a great skill to have, but I'm in it to focus on improving my life and reaching goals. So my samples aren't going to be as beautiful as you might see on some other channels. I mean, I admire some of y'all. Some of y'all got some artistic skills, and I love love that. I wish I had some of those artistic skills, but overall, this is a functional way that you can manage your mental health in your planner, not worrying about your handwriting. And if you want to, you can like spruce this up with some like mental health stickers. I know Passion Planner has the self-care sticker book with some really great daily affirmation stickers in them. There's the women's empowerment sticker book that has a lot of great daily affirmation reminders in there as well. Or you can get any kind of like self-encouragement sticker books, wellness sticker books that you could use to embellish your work that you're doing this week. Sometimes that's more motivating to use the stickers and the decor to help your spreads and help you look forward to looking at this on a daily and weekly basis. So that's completely a personal preference, and that's cool. So, that is another way you could use this. And then what's really cool, I like how Passion Planner has these things over here on the side. The focus for the week to kind of get your brain in the right direction that you want it to go. And then at the end of the week, you come back here and it says good things that happened. If you're using this for mental health or to improve your positive thinking, this is great. This another thing that you can call this is your gratitude box. And then you just, on a daily basis or throughout the week, write down the things you're grateful for this week. Like maybe I'm thankful for my job. Maybe I'm thankful for my friends. Something's come up this week that has made me thankful for them. You know what I mean? Like you just use gratitude as a way to increase your positive thinking. And you doing gratitude on a daily basis, that actually could be a skill or a step that you could put into your roadmap as a way of increasing your energy, because it has been proven that when you focus on gratitude on a daily basis, it can increase positive feelings about yourself. So that's just another thing that you can do. Okay, so you can take this layout and make it work for your needs. Now, some people are like, I battle both depression and anxiety, and I kind of want to work on both things. I think that's amazing. If you're doing that, you could kind of do the same thing for both. And again, I encourage you to show your planner layout to your therapist. Show them this, start here, and ask them to support you and walking through what would be best for you. And I would use this as sort of your like paper coach to take to therapy and talk with your therapist about how the week went and what was hard. Like you can make notes in here. If you have space at the bottom, make some journaling notes about how the day went. Or if you're using this for mental health only, use this whole vertical column to write down how your day went. So it's a great notebook to take, track your progress and to show your growth and show where you need support. I hope that this was helpful to y'all in some way. You can take this information again and apply it to any kind of mental health improvement that you're trying to do in your life. If you have a specific mental health need, again, I highly encourage you to talk to your therapist. I know I'm repeating myself on that, but everybody has different needs, and your therapist knows you better than I do. But if you have something kind of general that you're like, well, how would I show this, or how would I work on this in my planner, feel free to put that in the comments, and I will be more than happy to look at that and figure out if there's a different way we can address that in your planner. Okay. And I think this is primarily what I would do. Just think of it this way. With mental health, you and your planner, you have a couple of things you can do. You can track your mental health. That's the other thing. Like before you even start doing this, if you feel like you need to track how your moods are, track like how often or how many times a day you find yourself feeling low, you might need to use that information to help you do this more effectively. So before you even go here, maybe your first goal is to go into your planner And you can print out one of the habit trackers that are on the Passion Planner website under the free PDFs and put a habit tracker down here and just track your mood. Like track, was I feeling low, or how many times a day did I feel low that day? And look at the patterns and see, like, is there certain times of the day that we need to do self-care? And then you would work it into your schedule during the day of when you need to add some extra self-love to yourself throughout the day. So that's another way. So we track our mental health, and we also record and write down our progress as a way of helping us stay motivated and on track with that. And we use this in conjunction with our therapy with our personal mental health therapist. So I hope that this was helpful to you all. Again, please state in the comments if you have any other questions or would like to see another video. I plan on doing more mental health videos focused on different parts of mental health, anxiety, for example, and talking about that a little more in depth. Because I plan on having a whole series on mental health. This was designed to be just a very general video on how to work with mental health in your planner. So this is sort of the first video in this series. Thank you for coming to my channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.